Hi, I'm Kristine Weber, and I help mature yoga teachers make their wisdom shine. That's my thing. And I'd like to share some stuff with you today about knees. So, one of the most common complaints that I get from yoga students, um, and have gotten from yoga students throughout the years, and all these years, 30, almost 30 years I've been teaching, is knees. And I don't want to be on my knees. My knees hurt. I hate, what else can I do besides tabletop? So I want to show you really like a very simple solution, which is a chair. So if you're teaching in a space that doesn't have chairs, like it's most people have a folding chair around. So bring a folding chair with you to class. Like, is that too much to ask? Probably not. But hopefully you're teaching in a space that does have chairs. And if you're teaching online, then everybody's got a chair around. These are my old kitchen chairs. And this is my old kitchen chair. And it still has like the cover on that I put on there like 12 years ago. It's still sitting there. It's just fine for yoga. It works fine. You don't even need, like a special yoga chair for this. But the thing about having the chair close by for folks that have knee issues is now you don't have to be on your hands and knees, right? And you could do just about everything hands and knees wise. That you can do just about everything with the chair. And so this is how you work it. You bring your hands to the sides of the chair, right? So I don't want to put a ton of weight in my wrist because that's another issue a lot of people have. I'm going to back up just a little bit so you can see my feet. Okay, so the hands are on the sides of the chair, and the feet should be underneath your hips. So I can be a little bit forward. I don't need to be this tight like as a regular tabletop. It's actually a little bit better if there's a little more space because now I have more space to move my spine. So things like cat cow, right? Which is not one of my favorite things to teach, but a lot of people like it and really good for like men with stiff low backs. It can be good for women too, but sometimes it's too much mobilization in the hips and pelvis. So just being careful. But look at that. Cat cow, right? What about tiger? Tiger's great. You can do, or bird. I'm sorry, this is sometimes it's called tiger, sometimes it's called bird dog. So where you take the right leg up and the left arm out in front, there you go. You can do it from here. You could also do some of this core work that we often do on hands and knees. Inhale, extend, exhaling, drawing it right. So you got core work there. You can work just a little bit of back strengthening where you take the arms out but keep the feet down. That's another possibility. And Chakravaka Asana, the ready good goose pose, leaning forward, lifting the chest and face, and then exhaling back, bending the knees a little bit. The chair solves many knee problems. So that's why I highly recommend bringing it into classes with you so that folks can feel, even if they can't get into hands and knees, into tabletop pose, they can still feel successful about doing yoga. And that's what we want people to feel, right? We want them to feel like, I got this, I can do it, it's good for me. I need to show up more because of how great I feel. I want people to leave my classes feeling like that so that they come back for more, of course. And also, so because I can help them. I want them to keep coming back and letting me, guide them on this journey to greater health and well-being. Right now, one of the things that many people are struggling with is, a little or a lot of post-traumatic stress from this worldwide trauma that we've been in for 2.5 years, and maybe we're starting, who knows if we're coming out of it, but maybe we're starting to climb out of it. So people are feeling the exhaustion and the emotional burden and the weight. Like, let's be honest, this has been a very difficult time for many people who've lost loved ones or lost, jobs and been displaced. All sorts of things have been going on all over the world because of the past 2 years. So if people are really exhausted and they're just like, oh, yoga, like that's another thing on my to-do list that I don't have time to do, that's not the attitude that is helpful for them or for the yoga, for being in the yoga business. So what we need to do as yoga teachers, as mature women, you know, shining our wisdom is help folks understand that the time that they put into this, not only is it going to be pleasurable for them, not painful, it's going to help them to settle the nervous system, help to reduce some of the anxiety, help to integrate some of the emotional experiences. All of that is part of the experience of doing yoga. Now, I'm not saying that it's a substitute for standard of care or for psychotherapy or anything like that. I'm saying that it's a self care practice that helps people develop a greater sense of agency, a greater sense of autonomy, a sense that they can do something about feeling lousy. So, I think right now, like a lot of times people have in their minds, oh my God, I just have to go to the gym and work out really hard because that's the thing that's helpful. Well, sure, that's helpful. And also, what you can offer as a teacher of slow mindful practices is a way for people can feel better and not spike their cortisol, but actually access some of those endogenous relaxation chemicals that so many folks really need guidance to access. So if you're out there, if you're teaching, I'm so grateful for the work that you're doing in the trenches, helping folks. And if you are struggling with teaching, you've got to start thinking about how do I inspire people to understand that this time that they spend with me is just as important as any other self-care activity that they're participating in, and that they're going to feel so much better if they show up on a regular basis. Those are the messages we need to get out there to the public so that we can help them with these wonderful and life transforming practices. Hey, thank you so much for being here. If you want to study with me every week, check out the Subtle Yoga Resilience Society. That's my membership group. I'd love to have you on board. And I hope you have a great week. See you next week. Take care.